This reference design is for making our Robot Eyes product. It includes everything from schematic to assembly instructions and firmware to behavior control.
Rollout. We share hardware reference designs for robotics so you can make your own hardware.
Hi there, welcome to Rollout. I'm Jeremy, and today we're rolling out the E-64 RGB Eyes. With the RGB Eyes, you can give your project the ability to display expressions like winking, curiosity, happiness, or sadness. You can also display indicators like traffic lights and arrows. And you can create animations like Cylon or rainbow-colored animations. You can also control multiple displays. Next, let's add the E-64 RGB Eyes to EasyBuilder. First, we'll need an EasyBuilder compatible board. Here's the IO-Tiny. And next, we'll plug in the RGB Eyes into this I2C port here. Let's connect to the IO-Tiny with Wi-Fi. And next, we'll hit Connect in EasyBuilder. So we'll add the behavior control for the RGB Eyes by adding a control in the top left, then going to I2C in the top center, and then down to RGB Animator. Next, let's click the gear icon and create a new action. Let's call it Expressions. Hit OK. Then we'll add a new frame. You'll see the RGB Eyes go out because right now in our frame all the LEDs are black, so we have to select them. This will kind of be like a surprised look. Do all the outer LEDs here, and then we'll make them green. Let's also change the transition so we don't have to wait as long during each frame. Let's add another frame. We'll do like an eyeball in the corner here. Add another frame, do an eyeball up here. This will kind of be like curiosity. The robot's looking around. Let's add a happiness, kind of looking expression here. Let's do a sad looking expression. Then we'll select this action repeats so we can see all the expressions in a loop. We'll save that. We'll go to click on expressions and hit execute, and we'll see all of our expressions. And if you don't want them to fade into each other, you can just, we'll stop that for a second. I'll go into the menu here. You can actually deselect the transition on each of these. Save that, and I'll show you expressions without the transition. There we go. Let's stop that. Now let's create some indicators. So we'll go back into the gear icon, new action. We'll add a new frame. Let's make an arrow. Well, that's more like a plus sign. And let's make it red. Well, we don't have to mess with the transition time because we don't have a transition. So we'll add another frame. Let's do right. But this time let's do it in a yellow color. This can be like a stop. Okay, we'll repeat the action and I'll show you kind of what we can do for indicators. There we go. We got left, right, and then stop. I guess I didn't remove the transitions for a couple of those frames, and I didn't make them a little shorter. There we go. Okay. Lastly, let's create some animations. We'll add a new frame, and let's do a Cylon style animation. So we'll just do one red bar, and we'll keep the transition, but we'll bring the pause way down and the transition speed way down. Oh, instead of adding a new frame, let me remove that. Let's duplicate the frame. And we're going to want to do it 6 times. So we'll make that black, unselect all, make it this one red, go to our next one. And here's the last frame. Make that red. So that allowed us to keep the transition and the pause millisecond delays with each frame. So we can kind of see that. Oh, we missed one. We'll have to add one more. And we'll move this one up here. Oops. There we go. And we'll select that. There. And then we can also duplicate it for it to go all the way back. So we can duplicate this frame. That'll go to the bottom. Duplicate that frame. And it should be back at the top. Okay, let's save that and see how it goes. There we go. That's your Cylon animation, the back and forth red bar. Next, let's look at the schematics for the RGB eyes. Here we have the schematic for the RGB eyes. As you can see here, we have 9 LEDs on this side, 9 LEDs on this other side for a total of 18 RGB LEDs. We have all of our control lines, and then our common lines are controlled by FETs here. Over here we have our I2C connector, that's the JST connector. We also have a non-populated programming port on the board. And then this is our main MCU, which is a PIC 16F 1937. And it does all the driving for all the RGB LEDs, as well as the communication for I2C. Here's the bill of materials. First starting with the PCB, then going down to the PIC microcontroller. Next is the JST connector. Then we have a couple of MOSFETs here, some caps and resistors, and then we have 18 RGB LEDs. One thing to note is that the PIC microcontroller does need custom firmware, but you can grab that from our GitHub page. And here are some assembly notes. There's nothing too major, just make sure the connector is soldered on the correct way, and you trim up some of the legs, and also make sure the pin 1 of the PIC chip is lined up with the indicator on the PCB. So that was the E-64 RGB Eyes reference design. Find the links for the Synthiam behavior control and the GitHub reference design files in the description box below. And don't forget to subscribe for notifications for our next rollout video. Over and out.
Thank you for watching Rollout. For more information, visit www.synthiam.com.